Okay, so this is one of the facts that we have talked about, we have discussed. So this is like approaching the question. The first part is like underlining the main words or the keywords. They mean the same. They mean the same. The main words or the keywords, they mean the same. All right. So the sample question here, it says you stayed with your English friend Tom last weekend. So write an email to Tom. In your email, you should. These are the prompts. Okay. So the first one says thank him for the visit. The second one says say what you enjoy the most. And the third one says invite him to stay with you. And the instruction here, it says write between 35 to 45 words on your answer sheet. So what we're doing here, what we're going to be doing here in the first part is that we are going to underline the main words in the question. So it doesn't matter whatever you write in your question, because this is like little notes and the little scribbles, and these are like you are jotting down what you have to write. So, all right. So the first question, like the given question, will not have any underlined words like this one. So these are like our action, like our modification to the question. So, all right. So you said it says you stayed with your English friend. So look at the stay. Stay has a form of past simple. So this is like past tense. With your English friend Tom last weekend. So obviously this is last weekend. This is already done. It's not now. It's last weekend. So it's already done. It's in the past. So the tenses that you're going to be writing for this one, it will include past simple, past continuous, and past perfect. Stuff like that. These tenses are going to be a part of your writing. In trying to approach this question and in trying to rewrite your answer in your answer sheet to this question, to this email. So these are like the main words or the key words to actually simplifying and actually deciding what type of tense you have to write. And actually, these are like the main words that show the time frame, the given time frame of the question. It means that if the question gives you a scenario or situation that is going to happen in the future, you have to use future tense. Like generally, you have to use future tense. And if the question gives you like a past scenario, like more like a past situation in the past, like last weekend, last night, this morning. So just like this one right here, just like this example, we have to use past tenses. You stayed with your English friend from last weekend. We have to have verb agreement. So the time frame is last weekend, past tense, like the time, the situation that took place in the past. And the verb must be past tense, past simple, past perfect, whatever it is, just use past tense for this case, for this part of the question. So, okay, so let's go to another sentence. Write an email to Tom. This is an instruction of what the question wants you to do. And in this one says, in your email, you should thank him for the visit, say what you enjoy the most, invite him to stay with you. So these three are the main given prompts of the question. So you see these 3 points. These 3 points are like the main prompts that the question wants you to do, the examiners want you to do. So thank him for the visit. You thank him for the visit. The visit, remember, the visit took place last weekend. And then what you have to do is to thank him in your current letter. So there are like mainly 2 parts, and then generally 2 parts of this question. It's like one part is like the scenario, the situation that happened last weekend. So in this last weekend, everything that happened last weekend is going to be past tense. And then the next thing is you are going to write an email. So this is what you're going to be doing right now. So this is like a present tense. This is present. And then every single thing that happened last weekend, like the given situation from the question, this is like past. This is happening in the past. This has happened in the past. So right here, this says, thank him for the visit. What you're doing right now, you're going to be writing an email, and in your email, you have to thank him for the visit. So the visit happened last weekend. So if you are going to write any situation or sentences related to this visit from last weekend, you have to write everything in past tense. So this is like the suitable tenses for the situation given in the question. And then the next one, the next prompt says, say what you enjoyed the most. And you are going to be writing an email. Bear in mind what the question asks you to do. So you are going to be writing an email. And in your email, you have to write about what you enjoy the most. So you have to say what you enjoy the most. It means that you are going to be saying right now. You're going to be writing about that right now. So this is like present. This is present. This is happening right now. And then what you are writing about, like the contents of your email, is the visit from last weekend. It's like your friend's visit from last weekend. And then in that case, in that situation, you have to talk about what you enjoyed the most. So this is like a content of what you're going to be writing. Two actions, like two things, two parts of the question. One part is like the happening, the situation that happened last weekend, the visit, and this was like the content of your email that you're going to be writing. So the content took place last weekend, so it must be past tense. What you enjoyed the most. So this verb right here, this is past tense, so this is obviously a perfect verb agreement. All right, and then the next one, the last one, is that invite him to stay with you. Invite him to stay with you. So when we look at this generally, we are going to be writing an email, and in that email you have to invite him to stay with you. So this is like not actually happening yet. His staying with you is not happening yet. According to this last prompt, it's not happening yet. You are going to invite him to stay with you next time maybe he comes to you. He comes and visit your city or hometown or anything like that. If he comes to visit you next time, in that next time, you are going to invite him to stay with you. Maybe like for the future. This is like a case for the future. This is a scenario for the future given by the question. So these are like how to approach the question, how to really understand the question, how to know what the question asks you to do, and then how to actually choose the appropriate words, and then also the appropriate tenses for this question. So the time frame, the main time frame here is last weekend. So every single thing in your letter, like the content, the solid contents in your email that you're going to be writing about must be in past tense. Like you can write past simple, past perfect, past continuous, any tenses, but it must be in past. So, all right, so this is like underlining the keywords, the main words, and then how to, break this question down to your own plans, to fit into to your own plans. The instruction says write between 35 to 45 words on your answer sheet. So again, as this is a very short paragraph, just like we've talked about in the part 2 of this video of the same topic, this is like only between 35 to 45 words. So you must write a very short paragraph, like a short email. So you have to limit your facts as much as possible. So only write like one fact per prompt, and then make sure it's long enough, and then it contains all the main informations and the like essence that you have to be putting in. So, all right, this is underlining the main words or the keywords, and then the next one is choosing a suitable style for the question. So, suitable style, like writing style, formal, informal. So, according to the prompt, it says write an email to your English friend. So, right now, you see that it is an English friend, your friend. So, when you're with your friend, you feel very relaxed, very fun around them. When you are with your friends, you are very open to them, you are very relaxed. And then this is like the expressions, the general expressions, and the energy around your friend. So when you are writing an email to your friend, you must contain the same expressions when you are around them. You are like the same age. Friends may be the same age, or different ages, but these are like very light-hearted and open and relaxed. These expressions are generally between friends. So this is like informal. So your letter, your email that you're going to be writing to your friend must have an informal style. So that means you have to put in expressions, like the expressions which will be showing your relaxation and your openness towards them, and then your lightheartedness with each other, with the communication, the flow of the communication. These are like informal styles when you are communicating to your friend or writing an email to your friend. And then one thing to be careful when you write an informal text to your friend is that no matter how informal you are trying to be in your email, no matter how informal you are, you must have like respect to your readers' boundaries. Like you have to be showing your respect. You have to make your respect more obvious in your letter, and then like be polite. Don't put any expressions that will make your respectfulness to the other person dim. Like, don't put expressions that will dim your showing and your expression of being respectful to the other person. That means like no matter how informal you are, you have to remain polite at the same time. And you have to make it obvious through your text, through your email. So this is like a medium for you to show it all. So in the informal text, you do not have to include idioms, but include phrasal verbs and expressions instead. It is okay to include idioms in your email, but a better alternative to it is to use, if you want to use the same meaning um, of the idiom, like for example, spill the beans. You spill the beans to other people, like about, and you spread the news like wildfire to all the other people around you. So these two have exactly the same meaning. So instead of saying spilling the beans, you simplify that expression into different words. So this is like a better alternative, and this is a better option to writing an effective informal text. All right, so another thing is that state the main purpose of your letter or email. So this is like, you don't have to copy the question as it is. Like, for example, I am trying to write this email to tell you something about something. In this type of exercise, you don't actually need to state like this. Like, you don't actually need to copy every single word of the question. Like, I am writing to you because I really want to tell you about something. You don't need to write that because this is like only between 35 to 45. So you have to like limit your words as much as possible, make it more compact, and then make it more meaningful, and then with all the other, essential words, and then make sure that your letter or email is very compact with the essentials. So this is like, if you want to state the main purpose, it's very easy. Look back. Let's just go back to the question. It says, you stayed with your English friend Tom last weekend. Okay, so the main purpose here is that you are writing to him about the visit. So actually, this is like a summarized form of the question. But actually, what you're going to be doing is that just simply say, like in a very natural style. Don't make it too stiff by copying every single word of the question, but don't make it stiff and hard to listen. by copying all the letters from the question, and then don't say anything like, I am going to write to you because I really wanted to tell you something about. And these are optional, you can do that, but it's like you won't have any space left for the main facts that you're going to be including, for the main and for the crux, for the main core of the question. So by limiting these things, you will be able to communicate effectively and flawlessly. And yeah, just like that, you have to state the main purpose of your letter or email. So the main purpose of your letter or email is thanking him for the visit, saying what you enjoy the most, inviting him to stay with you. So these are the main points, the main purposes of the question and what the question wants you to do. So these are like the main purposes. You are going to write to your friend, and then in this email you have to include 3 facts. So this is like the main purpose. All right, so the next one is like use simple collocations in the right place. Collocations mean it's like simply connecting words. So example is like then, and then later, after that, because, so, etc. So you don't actually have to write like therefore or thenceforth or having said this. You don't have to actually put in these collocations, because actually this is like asking you for like 35 to 45 words. Remember to always reduce the unnecessary words. Like, you don't have to waste your space. You don't have to necessarily waste your space just for these extra and unnecessary words of collocations. Like, having said this, I want to say that. So this is like a very long expression. You don't have to actually say that. It's not unnecessary. So instead use like so. You can use simply so. So like, for being said that, I want to say. So instead of that long expression, you say, so I am writing to thank you about your visit, something like that. So these are like better alternatives to those long expressions or long connecting words, anything like that. So these are like better options to making your letter more compact. And then the last one is like remain polite to the reader in the informal letter. So this is what we've already talked about. This is like you have to show your respect on other people's boundaries, like the reader's boundaries. You have to show your respect on other people's boundaries through your letter as a medium for communication. So this is like what you have to plan and what you have to do, what you have to choose for the question type. That is all for today's video, and then thank you so much for watching, everyone, and we'll see you in the next video.